Broken, broken, teeth gone, jaws. Broken, broken, broken.
Jackie Chan has broken his nose 3 times, his ankle once, almost all of his fingers, his skull, and his cheekbones.
Just saying, I hate myself. Blues.
But don't feel too bad for him. He has a $10 million home, 6 cars valued at over $2 million, and has even confessed to splurging $2 million in a year on gifts for his friends. Fine wines, leather jackets, expensive watches, and of course, gourmet meals at only the finest restaurants. Over his 50-year career, Mr. Chan has amassed a fortune over $400 million. Time to find out just what he's spending it on and why he is one of the richest. Mr. Chan Kong Sang, known professionally as Jackie Chan, was born April 7, 1954 in Hong Kong, China. He had a knack for martial arts and acting from a young age, and it was with these skills that he landed bit roles in 1972's Fists of Fury and 1973's Enter the Dragon, which starred the legendary Bruce Lee, who saw something special in young Jackie. It was these impressive high kicks that led to his first big break in 1978 with a movie called Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. The same year, he wowed Hong Kong audiences with his first comedy martial arts film, Drunken Master, which both made a very respectable $20 million at the box office. But more importantly, Chan had now found his niche, and he wasn't about to slow down. By the 1980s, Jackie Chan was huge. He was now being sought out by the biggest film production companies in Hong Kong. And with that came big money, making just around $1 million for each video that he made. This made him an international sensation throughout Asia. But here's where Jackie went from wealthy and successful to incredibly rich and a legend. Jackie broke into mainstream American films with the Rush Hour series that co-starred comedian Chris Tucker, and was paid a total of $40 million to star as the lead detective, Chief Inspector Lee. The hits just kept coming for Jackie, and I'm not talking about punchers here, people. Ever heard of Shanghai Noon or Kung Fu Panda? Of course you have. They made $100 million and $631 million respectively. Mr. Chan easily saw between $15 and $20 million on these super hits. Nowadays, he's one of the top paid stars in Hollywood. You see, in 2017, Chan starred in the Lego Movie along with 5 other films. He racked up a total of $45.5 million that year.
When they asked me to do stunts for the Lego Ninjago movie, I thought I had to use Lego.
But that's nothing compared to 2019, where Forbes estimates he made $58 million from Chinese films like The Night of Shadows and The Mystery of Dragon Seal. Merchandising also plays a huge part in Mr. Chan becoming a 1%er of the 1%. He produces clothes, glasses, and even Jackie Chan action figures. Forbes has stated it was these smart investments that pushed Chan's wealth up to the $300 million range. That and his movies being a hit in both China and America. After all, double the audience, double the dollars. Let's not forget Mr. Chan's extensive singing career, which includes around 10 solo albums over the past 40 years.
What it is good for? Absolutely nothing. Good job, you are.
As a boy, he trained professionally at the Peking Opera School and sang in English, Taiwanese, Japanese, Cantonese, and Mandarin. He's also known for singing the main themes of some of his movies. His first venture into being not only the face of his film, but the voice was when he sang Kung Fu Fighting Man during the closing credits of his 1980 film, The Young Master. And he's still at it today. In 2007, he recorded the official one-year countdown song for the 2008 Summer Olympics. He sold over 1 million records, which equates to a profit of around $8 million. So he's got a massive bankroll, but what does Jackie Chan spend his incredible fortune on? When you have over $400 million, it's by no means chump change. Where's it all going? At first, Mr. Chan may not have been so good with his money. In his tell-all biography, he says that when he first came into money, he would spend it on any and everything, whether it was alcohol, gambling, or even heading down to the red light district. Chan said those early years of extravagant spending on material things were to get back on those who looked down on me. He said that coming from such humble beginnings and gaining such incredible wealth caused him to carry cash on him at all times, and he would pay for meals for all his friends or just anyone around him at the time. In fact, he stated, around 10 years ago, I spent $2 million in 1 year paying for other people's meals. I gave out extravagant gifts too, watches, cars, custom-made leather jackets, cases of expensive wine. But as Jackie got older, he got better with his money and started living living the life most of us can only dream of. He reportedly bought a $30 million jet in 2012 with some, well, rather strict rules for boarding it. Rules like the removal of passengers' shoes, no one being allowed to sit down, and no slamming of the plane's doors. If you don't catch Jackie flying through the air, you may see him out at sea on his own personal super yacht. How much did he spend? Well, his 45-meter luxury cruiser goes for $200,000, but that's nothing compared to the estimated $250,000 per year spent just on insurance. And let's not forget the annual gas price of guzzling all that fuel, which comes to just around $300,000 a year. Jackie also has a taste for some lavish and incredible mansions, and at one point sources say he owned multiple around the world, located in Miami, Australia, Phuket Island, and Hong Kong, although it seems he has sold off some of these super homes over the years. Currently, reports say that Jackie owns 3 beautiful luxury residences, one in Beverly Hills and 2 in his home city of Hong Kong. But just how much are these homes worth? Well, his first home in Beverly Hills recently was sold for $10.875 million. It's a 7,638 square foot French villa that includes a 2-story entrance, gourmet kitchen, 6 bedrooms, and 5.5 bathrooms. And if that's not enough space, it sits upon a lovely 3/4 of an acre that includes a cabana with a built-in barbecue, swimming pool, and outdoor dining area. Oh, and there's a spa with a waterfall, just in case you're into, living in paradise and all that. His homes also reportedly have quite a few secret passageways that lead to hidden rooms or act as quick access to other areas of the house. Yeah, if it were anyone else, I wouldn't believe it.
Very good.
This is Jackie. But houses aren't the only thing Mr. Chan will collect, as he also loves cars. A lot. At $77,000, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 Jackie Chan Special Edition is not only rare, as there were only 50 ever made worldwide, it's darn expensive too, but it's nothing compared to Mr. Chan's other cars in his collection. He also boasts a garage that has the Mitsubishi 3000 GT prototype that was used when Jackie filmed the movie City Hunter. On Craigslist, this car has gone up from its $500,000 price tag to $1 billion based on its rarity. However, only time will tell if someone actually pays that much, but until then, we're sure Jackie's mighty happy he's holding onto the sports car. He also sports a $1.2 million Jackie Chan edition Lamborghini Aventador, a $310,000 Bentley Mulsanne, a $77,000 limited edition Jackie Chan Evo 9, and a custom Mitsubishi Pajero Turbo, which goes for around $60,000. Oh, and one thing about the Pajero Turbo that might catch your attention? This incredible car features a Batmobile custom-built rear end, as in the Batmobile from Batman. Hey man, if you're gonna collect, you might as well only collect really good stuff. And what's more, if you're Jackie Chan, better make sure you have the special edition cars that were named after you, as well as the Batmobile. While vast cars and huge homes definitely catch Jackie Chan's eye, he has stated that he will impulsively collect the most seemingly random things. In fact, one friend gifted him a teacup, and before long, Chan had collected so many teacups to go with the initial present that he needed a huge glass display in his home just to house them all. He also reportedly loves antique locks and even has one massive, extremely heavy, and not to mention priceless, lock that he hand-carried all the way back from Turkey. I mean, when you like locks, you'll do anything to make sure you got the one you like on lockdown. Chan also collects famous signed portraits of famous actors. His most prized possession is a signed photograph of actor Robert De Niro, which can be worth up to $2,000. Sadly, he has yet to make a movie with Mr. De Niro, but here's hoping. His current home also houses a secret room where he collects yet another passion: fine wine. You see, in his basement, behind one of his famously hidden walls, is an estimated $100,000 wine cellar that houses his personal collection of wines. At 66 years old, Jackie has gone through many ups, downs, frivolous spending, and impressive purchases. But one thing he is well known for today is how charitable he is, and continues to be. His Jackie Chan Charitable Foundation offers scholarships, medical services, help for those who have been gravely injured, and also relief efforts for natural disasters. In fact, in 2010, it was reported he spent $5 million to help Haiti earthquake victims, and in 2004, he gave $500,000 to UNICEF tsunami relief, and 2 million yuan to the Chinese Children and Teenagers Fund, which equates to just about $300,000. He also stated that after he passes away, he plans to leave his entire fortune not to his family, but to charity. He's one of those rare celebrities that shine on screen with the persona of a Mr. Nice Guy and backs it up in real life by actually being one. Whether it's fancy cars, beautiful homes, collecting invaluables from across the world, or donating to charity, Jackie Chan has done plenty to splurge his $400 million bank account. And here's the thing, if you think he's slowing down, he ain't. It's rumored he'll be returning in an upcoming Rush Hour 4 with his buddy Chris Tucker. And speaking of buddies, he's also billed in the upcoming movie in the Shanghai Noon franchise called Shanghai Dawn with Owen Wilson. Wow. Looks like we aren't even close to seeing the end of this megastar, which means we ain't close to the end of his bankroll either.
I don't understand.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on. Is that your money? Come with us.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It's the best way to get the scoop on how the richest of the rich live their lavish lives. And be sure to turn on that notification bell so you can be alerted when our next video goes up. Keep working hard out there, loyal viewers, and one day you just might be one of the richest.